Hi Aquarius. Today we're going to look at June 11th, 2025, and that's the full moon in Sagittarius. We'll look at Aquarius sun, moon, and rising with specific messages for each. We'll look at numerology and astrology and the tarot cards, and we'll end the reading with advice for your sign. And in the description box, I have links to meditations for each of these tarot cards that I pulled for you today. So let's start with numerology. The number for that day is number 8, and it represents power and transformation, material mastery, and karmic cycles. It's about taking what you've built and refining it with focus and perseverance. So for Aquarius, this is a moment to turn your visionary ideas into tangible systems. Think long-term stability without sacrificing innovation. So you may feel called to invest in a side hustle, or launch a bold financial plan, or reclaim authority in a personal project. Maybe you finally write the business proposal or take the reins on a family decision you've avoided. Now let's look at astrology. So the full moon lands in your 11th house. That talks about friendships and networks and hopes and long-term dreams. This is your natural house, Aquarius. It's lighting up your role in the collective, your social circles, and your future visions. But we're going to start with the sun. And the sun is in Gemini, so that's your 5th house. So that's going to talk about creativity and romance and joy. The sun is shining its playful light on what brings you joy and love and self-expression. You're torn between solo adventures and community involvement. So you may be pulled between staying home to work on your creative writing or going out with friends for an event you helped organize. The full moon says you can do both with planning. Then there's the moon, and the moon is in Sagittarius, and that's your 11th house. That's aspirations and social groups. So this full moon could illuminate whether your current social life is aligned with your growth. It's a chance to recommit to your dreams or change who you're chasing them with. So you might realize a friendship no longer supports your ideals, or you may be invited into a circle that does. Mercury is in Gemini, and that's your 5th house again. And that talks about play and passion and communication. So with Mercury here, your voice is magnetic. You're witty and you're bold and you're thinking fast, but avoid being scattered. You might be struck with a spontaneous idea for a passion project and instantly start building the first draft. It might even go viral. So, wow. Venus is in Cancer, and that's your 6th house. So that's going to talk about wellness and work habits and service. So relationships may feel more emotionally attuned, especially in the workspace. It's a sweet moment to create harmony in your routines and daily collaborations. So a coworker opens up to you about something personal and it deepens your bond, or you feel inspired to create a more peaceful and loving work atmosphere. Here's Mars, and Mars is in Aries. That's your 3rd house. And that's going to talk about communication and siblings and tech. With fiery Mars here, your mental energy is buzzing. Be careful not to argue to win, so listen deeply. You might jump into a debate with a friend or a sibling about something minor, only to realize it's rooted in a deeper miscommunication. So choose clarity over combat. Here are the cards. We're going to talk about tarot cards. So here's the first one that hi camera. The first card I pulled for you was Temperance. Temperance. Wow. Temperance talks about balance and integration and harmony. So this card is about blending extremes to find your unique rhythm. It encourages patience, compromise, and soulful equilibrium. So you might be juggling two very different worlds, say a corporate job or your artistic side hustle, and finding your own flow between them. Or maybe you're learning to integrate wellness practices like meditation or journaling into your chaotic schedule. So here's the advice. Today asks you to trust divine timing. Instead of forcing control, create space for the pieces of your life to naturally align. Blend, don't bend. And then, hey, the Fool. So the Fool talks about new beginnings and the leap of faith and spontaneity. And so the Fool is card 0. So that's the cosmic reset. It signals a fresh journey, trust in the unknown, and the willingness to take the first bold step. So you might sign up for a class you've been eyeing, start a podcast, or even say yes to a spontaneous road trip. This card says, you don't need all the answers to begin. Trust the magic of the unknown. So here's your advice. Leap with joy, not fear. Even if you don't know the destination, the act of beginning is the win. And then, last card, is the 4 of Pentacles. And that talks about security and control and holding on. So this card often appears when you're clinging too tightly, whether it's to money or emotions or routines or fears of loss. So maybe you've been putting off a trip or a bold investment because you're afraid of rocking your financial boat. Or maybe you've been emotionally closed off in a relationship for fear of being vulnerable. So here's your advice. Loosen that grip. Security isn't found in control. It's found in trust. Open your hands just a little, and the flow returns. So, how's this day going to affect Aquarius Sun, Moon, and Rising? So Aquarius Sun, your outer world is spotlighting your role in the community and your legacy dreams. You may feel pulled to lead or leave a group that no longer reflects your ideals. So you might decide to step up and lead a volunteer project, or realize that your old friends don't match your evolving goals. Aquarius Moon. Emotionally, you may crave more independence or a different kind of belonging. The full moon could stir up feelings about where and with whom you feel most yourself. So you might withdraw from a group chat that always drains you and instead start building a space that feeds your soul. Aquarius Rising. Your public image and identity may undergo a subtle shift. People are noticing your authenticity and willingness to blaze a trail. So you post a vulnerable thought online and are surprised when it resonates with many, solidifying your new path or message. So here's the summary. What does this day mean to Aquarius? So the full moon in Sagittarius calls Aquarius to align personal joy with communal dreams. Meanwhile, the tarot offers a blend of reflection and renewal. So Temperance reminds you to find peace in the middle path. The Fool invites a joyful leap towards new beginnings. And the 4 of Pentacles urges you to release control and open to trust. So here's the real life takeaway. You don't have to choose between extremes. There's a way to blend them with grace. Say yes to the leap. The unknown is your playground. Clutching tightly blocks your magic, so release and receive. So here's the advice for Aquarius on this day. Trust the flow, dear visionary. There's beauty in the balance, joy in the leap, and power in letting go. With your intuition and originality, you're destined to lead. And this full moon is your invitation to do it with grace. Thank you, Aquarius. And I hope to see you in another reading.